It's time for Trevor's Adventures, where stories come alive. Today's story is called Trevor and the Color-Stealing Clouds. Trevor was having a perfectly normal Saturday morning until he looked out his bedroom window and noticed something very strange. All the colors outside were disappearing. The bright red roses in Mrs. Peterson's garden had turned completely gray. The yellow school bus driving down the street looked like it was made of silver. Even the green grass in his own backyard had become the color of old newspapers. "Mom," Trevor called, running downstairs in his pajamas. "All the colors are gone. It's like someone drained the whole world with a giant gray crayon." His mom looked up from her morning coffee, which Trevor noticed was now just plain white instead of brown. "What do you mean, sweetie?" she asked. Then she looked down at her coffee mug and nearly dropped it. "Oh my! My coffee looks like milk. And look at my red robe. It's completely gray." Trevor pressed his nose against the kitchen window. "Mom, look at the sky. There are these weird puffy clouds that look different. They're not gray like regular storm clouds. They look like they're full of swirling colors." Sure enough, floating above their neighborhood were the strangest clouds Trevor had ever seen. Instead of being white or gray, these clouds were shimmering with all sorts of colors: red, blue, yellow, green, purple. Like someone had stuffed rainbows inside cotton balls. "It's like those clouds are hoarding all the colors," Trevor exclaimed. "They're like color bullies." Just then, Trevor's dog Buster came running into the kitchen. But instead of his usual golden fur, he was completely gray. He looked so confused that he kept trying to sniff his own tail, as if he couldn't figure out why it didn't look right. Even his pink tongue had turned gray, which made him look like he was sticking out a piece of old gum. "This is so weird," Trevor said, scratching his head. "But also kind of cool. It's like living inside an old black and white movie." Trevor got dressed quickly. His blue shirt and red shorts were now just different shades of gray, and ran outside to investigate. His neighbor, Mr. Johnson, was standing in his driveway, staring up at the colorful clouds with his mouth wide open. "Trevor," Mr. Johnson called out, "have you ever seen anything like this? My prized purple petunias look like they were painted with dishwater. And my orange car looks like a big gray rock." "I think those clouds stole all our colors, Mr. Johnson," Trevor replied, pointing up at the sky. "Look how they're all swirly and bright up there." As Trevor watched, he noticed that the color-filled clouds seemed to be moving in a strange pattern. They weren't just floating randomly like normal clouds. They were spinning around each other in circles, almost like they were dancing. "They're having a color party up there," Trevor laughed. "But they forgot to invite the rest of the world." Trevor had an idea. He ran back into his house and grabbed his mom's big camping flashlight. "Mom, can I borrow this?" he asked. "Of course, dear. But what are you planning to do?" she asked, still staring at her white coffee. "I'm going to try to get our colors back," Trevor announced confidently. "Those clouds are having too much fun without us." Trevor went back inside and pointed the flashlight up at the colorful clouds. He turned it on and started flashing it in the same circular pattern that the clouds were making. On and off, spinning the light around like he was conducting an orchestra of clouds. At first, nothing happened. But then one of the smaller, color-filled clouds seemed to notice the flashlight. It stopped spinning and started to float down toward Trevor, getting bigger and brighter as it got closer. "It's working!" Trevor shouted excitedly. "Here it comes!" The cloud floated down until it was hovering just above Trevor's head, swirling with beautiful reds and pinks. Then, like a gentle rain, tiny droplets of color began to fall from the cloud. But instead of making Trevor wet, the colorful drops seemed to bounce around, touching everything they landed on and bringing back the colors. The grass around Trevor's feet turned green again. Mrs. Peterson's roses bloomed back to bright red. Buster's fur returned to its golden color, and he barked with joy. His pink tongue was back too. "Yes!" Trevor cheered, doing a little victory dance. "Come on, other clouds! Don't be shy!" Seeing what was happening, the other color-filled clouds began floating down one by one. Some brought back the blues and purples. Others restored the yellows and oranges. Soon, colorful drops were falling everywhere, like the world's most beautiful rain shower. Mr. Johnson's car turned bright orange again. His petunias became purple, and even his gray hair got its silver color back. "Trevor, you did it!" he called out. "You're like a color superhero." Trevor's mom came outside with her coffee, which was now perfectly brown again. "How did you figure that out, sweetie?" she asked, giving him a big hug. Trevor grinned and pointed at the last few colorful clouds floating back up to the sky, now looking like normal white clouds again. "I noticed they were dancing in circles, so I thought maybe they just wanted someone to dance with them. Sometimes, when you're having too much fun by yourself, you just need someone to remind you to share." "That's very smart thinking," his mom said proudly. "And look how beautiful everything looks now that all the colors are back." Trevor looked around at his colorful world. The bright blue sky, the green grass, the rainbow of flowers in all the neighbors' gardens. "You know what, Mom? I never really noticed how awesome colors are until they were gone. Even boring gray things look pretty good when there's also red and blue and yellow around." His mom laughed. "Sometimes we need to lose something for a little while to really appreciate how wonderful it is." Trevor nodded, watching as the last colorful cloud turned back to normal white and floated away. He decided he would never take colors for granted again. After all, a gray world was pretty boring, even if it was kind of like living in an old movie. Plus, he'd learned that sometimes the best way to solve a problem was to try to understand what the problem makers really wanted. In this case, they just wanted someone to notice their beautiful dance.